Hey everybody, hello once again. This is Jonathan Miller, the hometown historian. We are here in Schaefferstown, Pennsylvania at the Alexander Schaeffer Farm. They have the Harvest Festival. It's early American crafts and all kinds of different stuff. So we're going to go around this, check out the different stands and see everything, and then check out the buildings, and then some of the early American craft displays. We'll check those out as well. Probably get a bunch of shorts and other things as well. And let's turn this around, check out the fair. You can hear some of the music, I think, from the early American folk music. And you have all these neat stands here as well. I didn't make the Cherry Festival this year in June because the heat was so bad and I just wasn't feeling that good, and my legs sort of can only take so much. But let's come over here. So here we are. This is Historic Schaefferstown Incorporated stand. And just some of the stuff they have coming up. You have the Christ Kindle Market, which is coming up here in December. Tavern lunch as well.
And it's so nice to have this because of what happened for it. Well, right. You know, yeah,
we're going to be going later. We're going to be going to the Kimberly Rick's house as well. So let's head on over. You have all these like craft stands, just really neat stuff with history. Hey.
So you're the hometown historian?
And just see these cool old world crafts, soaps and different things, because back in the day you had to make all that. You couldn't go to your local 1700s Walmart.
When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind.
It's always sort of cool to hear sort of the folk music talking about the frontier.
Where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? Researchers all say they have made whitefish live to the 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up or they might have capsized. They might have drove deep into water. All that remains is the faces and their names of the wives and their sons and the daughters.
Here you have more of these crafts, quilting, all these really neat things. Woodworking. Always like to go here because there's all kinds of cool stuff.
we didn't have toys. We made our own.
Gotta watch the roots. cool bowls. Really neat people that do these types of things, the skill that goes with that. Basket weaving. He's actually working on a basket right there. We're going to go into the garden here. This is one of those heirloom gardens they have here that would have been from the time period. You just get to see everything that they would have had in their gardens that they would have needed for their survival, and how neat that is. I don't think I'm gonna attempt to walk it, because with my boot, sort of a narrow path, you can see my boot there. I don't want to clip on something and kill the garden or myself. But there's a lot of really pretty things here. This is one of the first of the buildings. This would have been the smokehouse. This would have been where they smoked all their meats. Bacon, ham, sausage, and other meats over a wood fire added flavor and helped preserve the food for later use. This large smokehouse is one of the 3 18th century buildings original to the farm. So back to the 1700s. Pretty cool. I think we're going to go around to the bottom, because this is the Alexander Schaeffer Farmhouse. This was a traditional German architecture home where they would have like a beer house, ale house down at the bottom where they were making their alcohols. So these homes were very, very important, the way they were set up for both business and for a home. Just look at this stunning fireplace. So at one time, this fireplace would have been deeper and wider. It was reduced in size when the stills that sat on the other side of this fireplace were installed.
So this is where they did all the story.
Yeah, so this would have been.
This room and the floor above us were the original part of the building. Everything beyond that doorway was added later. And you'll see in there a cold cellar that they added, so they could store the products from the orchard to be able to use them in the process of storage.
So they made wines or beer?
They were using apples, cherries, pears, peaches primarily for varying degrees of alcoholic beverages.
Right. I was wondering what specific.
This is how this would have looked.
Cherry bounce, hard cider.
Hard cider. What's a cherry bounce?
Bounce.
Bounce. Apple cider
It
whiskey.
had a little kick to it.
Okay.
Very, very neat.
And Applejack was another
I've
product.
heard of that
Yeah,
one.
there's all different kinds. We had samples here, but I drank them all.
Oh, wow. No wonder you're so social. Yeah.
I was at City Tavern in
Here's a cool thing that you can see, like the pipes would have been a hollowed out piece of wood for
Don't know. I don't know if they
the
made it or if they
waterworks
lost
there,
it.
Fountain Park.
City Tavern's not open anymore.
That's how they did move water around back in that era of time.
2018.
And here you actually can see one. Very cool.
COVID maybe?
Yeah, COVID messed up a lot.
So that was the distillery we just looked at. Getting full. This is a pigsty. Pigsty is one of those 18th century buildings original to the farm and is located close to the house, making it convenient to feed the pigs with apple mash left over from the basement distilling operation, because they made sort of that apple rye whiskey. It's another one of those buildings. It's coming up on 300 years old. Really, really stunning. Here you get to see this beautiful barn. I believe this was added by the Brendels at a later time than the original Alexander Schaeffer Farm house. It really is a stunning. Has that beautiful mustard yellow, I guess. I don't know. I'm colorblind, so your guess is as good as mine. We're going to head down to a couple of these other buildings that are on the property. They actually, the smaller log cabin house over here is actually brought over from somewhere else and preserved here on the Alexander Schaeffer Farm. But it's cool to go in there and look at it, because you get to see how people lived back at that time period. You know, we're accustomed to big houses and all that, and this would have been what they were accustomed to. This is a summer house. Summer houses became popular in the mid-19th century. They were used in winter months for cooking, baking, and other household chores. This kept heat, flies, and odors from the main house. Has that smell. Wish it could translate that. The bake oven. Then another fireplace there. You can just see how they would have lived. Very, very cool. You can read that, good for you.
Yeah.
So this is the spring house. You just get to see how people would have lived, and there is a second floor up there. That's where they would have slept. It's like this would have been the main living area, but it's just such a neat example of how people lived back in the 17 and 1800s. Just gonna get a little bit of a look upstairs. Basically would have been what you call a 1.5 story, but really, really a cozy little place. You know, Cliff says all the time, he said, yeah, I could live here. And I can definitely say that. I could live here, curl up with a good book next to the fireplace. A primitive, simple life. And then you see how underneath here is where a spring would have come out of. And this is actually an actual spring, so very, very cool. There's all kinds of cool. We're inside the bank barn. It was built around 1890. Replaced the original structure. These would have been all kinds of implements that they would have had here on the farm that would have been essential. You know, as industrial revolution came about, you had all kinds of new machines and things that was prototypically done by hand. They would then have machines, and here's, for instance, a dog treadmill. So serve some kind of purpose to use the dog to move something to do work almost like an engine. There's a barrel butter churn. You would have started to see the first of the engines and all those types of things, which I think as we do more and more we'll be able to go down there, and I think they have some potentially some motors going from back in this time period in the late 1800s. Now these things were all, it was all about efficiency. There was a way that you could find a piece of machinery that could make the job go quicker. They would go for it. Because it wound up making you more efficient and more profitable. Get to see some of these old wagons. This is made in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. It's a threshing machine. It really is impressive. Some more of these wagons. Just the historic things that were here. How important they all were. Here you get to see more of the how they would have used a tractor at times too to work some kind of milling process or a cider press. See some of these old engines. You get to see a bunch more tractors and some really neat machinery. Let's see how pretty these things are. That's the Hercules 12 horsepower. And they serve various purposes on the farm, and it's that new technology that really changed the world in a lot of ways. Old sawmill would have looked like, and you wouldn't want to get caught up in that blade. There'd be no more you. This is how they used to make their lumber. Very, very cool. So I decided to sit down here for a little bit. It's actually a really nice day. There goes the sawmill. I think we're coming to the end of our tour here. We've seen about everything that we can see. We've been in the Alexander Schaeffer upstairs at the farmstead. There's just a lot of people in there right now. So I don't always go into places where there's a bunch of little kids and stuff like that, just because I don't like to be filming in the general region. If they get this thing going here, I might show us this just quick. And it looks like they are. And I think we're going to head over to the Gemberling Rex house to see see what a 1700s tavern looks like. Check that out. But anyways, as always, I want to say thanks for coming along. It's been another cool adventure here, coming to the Harvest Festival. They do a lot of stuff with apples. It's like that. Cider press, apple pies. It really is neat how they did all this. But anyways, this is another cool adventure. Again, to check out a bunch of different types of things, and crafts and whatnot. And thanks as always for coming along, and we'll see you all about time.